Imagine standing on a quiet bridge at dusk, the wind carrying a strange hum. Suddenly, a shadow looms overhead, huge, winged, with glowing red eyes. Or picture this: you're a farmer in the desert, and one night, a deafening crash shakes your world, leaving wreckage no human could build. These aren't just nightmares. They're moments etched into history. Moments that changed lives and sparked questions we still can't answer. Welcome back to our channel, where we don't shy away from the dark corners of the unknown. Today, we're diving into a massive 3.5-hour exploration of some of America's wildest mysteries. The Mothman of Point Pleasant, the Roswell crash, and other eerie events tied to omens and extraterrestrials. We'll start with the stories, raw, gripping tales from those who were there, then unravel the truth with science and a twist. Could aliens be sending us warnings? This is our deepest dive yet, so settle in, grab some coffee, and let's step into the shadows together. Let's begin with the tales. 6 chilling accounts from eyewitnesses, survivors, and locals. These aren't rumors. They're pulled from interviews, books, and dusty archives. Buckle up. This is a long, wild ride. November 15th, 1966. Point Pleasant, West Virginia. It's a cold night, and 2 young couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry, Steve and Mary Millette, are cruising down a back road near the old TNT plant, a World War II relic surrounded by woods. Roger's behind the wheel when Linda gasps, pointing ahead. There in the headlights stands something 7 feet tall, gray, with wings folded behind it. Its eyes glow red like bicycle reflectors, piercing the dark. Roger slams on the gas. The thing takes off, chasing them at 100 miles an hour. They hear wings flapping, see it swoop over the car. They skid into town, pale and trembling, and spill their story to Deputy Millard Halstead. He laughs. Kids in their pranks, but drives out anyway. He finds nothing except odd scratches on the car roof. The next night, November 16th, Marcella Bennett's visiting her sister near the TNT plant. She's carrying her toddler, Tina, to the car when she freezes. A figure rises from the ground, huge, winged, those same red eyes locked on her. She screams, drops Tina, and stumbles back. It hovers, staring, then glides into the trees. Marcella's shaking for hours. She tells the press later, it was like a devil. Sightings explode, over 100 in a year. A farmer sees it perched on his barn. A mailman crashes his truck, dodging it. Locals nickname it Mothman. Then, December 15th, 1967, the Silver Bridge collapses. 46 dead. Witnesses swear they saw Mothman atop it days before. Was it a warning or a curse? Point Pleasant's quiet now, but the scars linger. People still hear screeches at night, see red lights over the river. Is it over or waiting? July 2nd, 1947, Roswell, New Mexico. Rancher William Mac Brazells, tending his sheep, when a thunderous boom shakes the desert. Next morning, he rides out to check his land, 40 miles from nowhere. and finds it a field littered with wreckage, metal strips, foil-like sheets, beams lighter than wood, shimmering in the sun. It's not a plane. Symbols like hieroglyphs mark the pieces. Mac grabs a sackful, rides to town, and shows Sheriff George Wilcox. Word spreads. The Army rolls in. Major Jesse Marcel from Roswell, Army Airfield, leads the sweep. By July 8th, press release hits. RAF captures flying saucer. Hours later, it's retracted. Just a weather balloon, they say. Mac's locked in a cell for days, told to shut up. But locals talk. Foreman D. Proctor, a kid then, saw it too. Shiny stuff, tough as steel, wouldn't burn. Nurse Glenn Dennis gets a call from the base. We need small coffins. He sneaks in later, sees bodies. Gray, big-eyed, not human. Military police chase him off. Rancher neighbors hear hums at night after. One, Floyd Proctor, finds his dog dead, skin peeled, near the site. By the 80s, witnesses like Marcel and Wilcox's deputy, Louis Rickett, spill more. It was a craft, nothing we made. UFO nuts swarm Roswell. The Army sticks to balloon. What crashed that night? September 3rd, 1965, Exeter, New Hampshire. It's 2 a.m., and 18-year-old Norman Muscarello's hitching home on Route 150. The night's still when lights, 5 of them, red, pulsing, burst from the trees. A disc, 80 feet wide, tilts toward him, silent but heavy, like it's pressing the air. Norman dives into a ditch. It hovers over a field, bathing horses in red glow. They bolt, screaming. He runs to a house, bangs on the door. Eugene Bertrand, a cop, finds him, sweating, wild-eyed. They drive back with Officer David Hunt. The thing's still there, rising, dipping, lights strobing. Hunt radios it in. I don't know what this is. A farmer nearby, Carl Dining, calls too. Saw it over his barn, spooking cows. Next day, more report it, dozens, from Exeter to Kensington. Air Force says planes from Pease AFB. But Norman, Hunt, and Bertrand stick to their guns. No plane moves like that. Years later, a 2011 reunion. Hunt, now retired, says it was real. Something's out there. Locals still see odd lights over those fields. Was it a test or a visitor? December 9th, 1965, Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. Kids are playing outside when a fireball streaks across the sky. Ohio to Canada saw it too. But in Kecksburg, it crashes. Bill Bullabush, a mechanic, watches it land in the woods. Like a giant acorn, bronze, glowing. He gets close. It's 12 feet long. No rivets. Hieroglyphs etched on the rim. Firefighters arrive. John Hayes smells ozone. Hears a hum. Then the army storms in. Trucks, suits, guns. They cordon it off, haul it away on a flatbed. Reporter Stan Gordon's there, snapping photos. Soldiers confiscate his film. Kids sneak peeks, say they saw something moving inside. Witnesses pile up. Radio operator Bobby Klein hears chatter. Secure the object, no leaks. A trucker, Ed Myers, tails the convoy. It heads to Wright-Patterson, AFB. NASA calls it a meteor. The Army says nothing. But locals like Sue Johnson swear lights hover over those woods yearly since. Was it space junk? Or a craft? March 13th, 1997, Phoenix, Arizona. It's 8 p.m., and Lynn Kitay's at her window when she sees them. 5 amber orbs in a V shape gliding over the city. She grabs a camera. They're silent, a mile wide. Thousands see it. Truck driver Kurt Russell from a plane. Governor Fife Symington from his yard. Mitch Stanley, an amateur astronomer, scopes it. Not stars, not planes. By 10 p.m., they're gone, but videos flood TV. Air Force says, flares from Luke AFB. Symington calls a press conference, jokes it's aliens, then backtracks. But people dig deeper? Trucker Bill Greiner saw a triangle craft near to I-10. No sound, no jets. A family in Prescott films it hovering, lights pulsing. Years later, Symington admits it was unearthly. Phoenix lights return, 2007, 2008. Same pattern. Flares don't hover. What lit up the desert? Five stories. Hours of chills. Now let's crack them open. What's behind Mothman, Roswell, and these lights? Science first, then the alien twist. Mothman's a head-scratcher, but science tries. Those red eyes? Sandhill cranes. Big birds, reflective eyes. Migrated near Point Pleasant then. Fear and dark amplify it. Pareidolia turns wings into monsters. The bridge? Old, overloaded. Engineers flagged it years before. Exeter's disk? Plasma from power lines. Rare, but documented in 65. Roswell's debris? Project Mogul? A secret balloon with odd materials crashed that week. Kecksburg's acorn? A Soviet satellite, Cosmos 96, fell nearby. NASA's meteor excuse fits. Phoenix lights? Flares. Dropped high. They drift slow. Look weird. Noise. Weather. Tech explain a lot. Roswell's bodies? Crash dummies from later tests, mixed into memory. Mothman's screeches? Owls or wind. Science says we see what we want. Chaos becomes meaning. But some pieces don't fit. Now, the fun stuff. What if it's aliens? Mothman's timing, pre-disaster, screams warning, UFO lore's full of messengers. Could it be an ET scout? Roswell's crash. Marcel swore it wasn't ours. Glenn's bodies match abduction tales. Exeter's disk defied physics. Hunt's report echoes Navy UFOs. Kecksburg's craft. Hieroglyphs, no seams, hints at tech beyond us. Phoenix's mile-wide V? No flare does that. Symington's unearthly rings true. Theory, aliens signal us. Omens before chaos, crashes to test us. Mothman's bridge, Roswell's cover-up, Phoenix's mass sighting, patterns of contact. No proof, but witnesses. Hundreds say it's real. Are they watching or warning? From Mothman's wings to Roswell's wreckage, these tales grip us. Omens, crashes, lights in the dark. Science gives us cranes, balloons, flares. Logic to sleep easy. But the alien lens? It's wild, unsettling, and alive with possibility. Are these warnings from beyond? Or just our minds running wild? You decide. Tell us your take below. Loved this 3.5-hour ride? Subscribe, hit the bell. We're tackling haunted skies next. Until then, next time you see a strange light or hear a hum, wonder